Detroit is famous for its automotive industry. This plant right here was constructed in the early 20th century by the Fisher Body Company. This is the story of Fisher Body Plant 21. The Fisher Body Company would be founded in 1909 by Albert Fisher and his nephews Charles and Fred Fisher. Initially, they produced bodies for both carriages and cars, but they dropped their carriage line in the year 1911. During the early 20th century and the rise of the auto industry, car bodies were often made of a mixture of shaped wood and metal, which was a very complicated process and required very skilled tradesmen. At the time, the major titans of the auto industry found it a lot cheaper to outsource body construction to third-party companies. Throughout the 1910s, Fisher would produce bodies for Ford, Studebaker, Hudson, and Cadillac. Soon, Fisher Body would be a household name and become synonymous with high-quality car bodies. The company grew rapidly, and more demand was coming for their work, so they expanded to over 40 new plants in cities like Detroit and Cleveland. In 1919, not far from Henry Ford's original workshop, which now serves as a museum, Body Plant number 21 was constructed. The building was designed by Albert Kahn, a famous architect that designed many industrial centers in Detroit. The plant would focus on creating Buick and Cadillac bodies. In 1917, General Motors had moved almost all of its bodywork to the Fisher Body Company. Over the years, General Motors would purchase the majority of the shares in the Fisher Body Company. In 1926, the companies merged into one. However, the phrase Body by Fisher would continue to be used as a marketing tactic. Trouble would come at the turn of the Great Depression. A series of violent strikes would break out throughout the Fisher Body and General Motors plants, all across the country. The strikes would begin on December 30th of 1936 and would be known as the Flint sit-down strike. In 1937, police attempted to enter Fisher Body Plant number 2. They used tear gas as they entered the building and began violently beating many of the workers, who fought back by throwing bottles at the officers. The factory workers were going on strike for their union to be recognized and for basic workers' rights. President Roosevelt demanded that GM recognize the union so that way the plants could reopen. Eventually, General Motors would cave and sign a deal with the workers' union. The factory workers would get a 5% raise. They would also get permission to speak in the lunchroom, among many other new rights that they had won. At the onset of World War II, the factory would begin producing parts for tanks and planes. This would be a huge boon for General Motors. After the war, Fisher Body Plant 21 would begin undergoing some changes. And soon, its downfall and eventual abandonment was inevitable.
Oh, what's up?
It's relatively windy here. Oh, there's another person in here. That's cool. Probably here for the same reason we are. Man, this is a really beautiful place.
I just keep my head next to my feet.
Try to see if I can get up there. Oh, sorry. Oh, well, look at that.
You guys are leaving me down here? Caleb, how do we get down?
Just slide down.
There's a f***ing staircase probably up there.
No. The staircase is blocked, remember? Alright, after climbing that rope, this is what the second floor looks like. And it's beautiful here. I really love this industrial architecture. It's really, really cool. So a lot of the floors are sealed up. These doors are welded. We were able to get to the second floor because of that rope. This is the third floor, and yeah, there's no way we're gonna be able to get in there. But some of the doors have holes cut in them, so you can gain access. So this is the fourth floor? Yeah, fourth floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that because I got trapped up here and I didn't tell them what it was.
Anyways.
It's not funny. Guys? Hello? Send search and rescue.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool floor. It's fairly empty though. Wow. Ooh, this is pretty cool. Just in the middle. Doesn't seem to be anything else. Looks like the rest of it was all torn out. That is pretty cool. So this is the fifth floor, I think. Yeah, the fifth floor. I kind of wasn't counting, but I'm pretty sure it's the fifth floor. This thing is so cool. I love this little rail track here. That is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Yo, there's a Poetry by Boots here. Forgot about this. Guys, I found a Poetry by Boots. Heck yeah. Cool as frickin' heck. In the decades following the Second World War, Fisher Body Plant 21 would change to doing assembly work for ambulances, limousines, and buses. In the year 1982, General Motors announced that they were going to close Body Plant number 21 and move limousine production to Flint. The last day of production at Body Plant 21 was April 1st of 1984. The plant would remain vacant until it was purchased in 1990 by the Carter Color Coat Company for use in producing industrial paint. In 1993, they would file for bankruptcy and close down the plant. In the year 2000, the ownership of the plant would go back to the city of Detroit. The plant was heavily contaminated. The Michigan Department of Environmental Quality did a survey in 2004. They discovered a plethora of industrial equipment, lead waste, asbestos materials, storage tanks, and many other hazardous debris and waste. It was determined that the site was unsafe and dangerous to the environment. In 2008, the EPA began remediation work on the site. They began removing large quantities of contaminated soil, concrete, and industrial equipment. In 2010, more work would be done on the site by the EPA to remove underground storage tanks. Despite the millions of dollars of work and effort that has gone into cleaning up the plant, the EPA still considers it contaminated. At the front of the building towards Harper Avenue, part of the property has been turned into a police auto impound lot. Several rows of towed cars sit there, slowly decaying and rusting away, just like the building that sits just behind them. As of right now, there are no plans to develop the site, and the city of Detroit is selling it for $300,000. Although the future of Fisher Body Plant 21 is unclear, its impact on the automotive industry is one that has forever changed history. This single factory, as well as the company that used to own it, will never be forgotten.
What's the point of talking when you block out what I say? The only time I feel you anymore is when we sleep. You used to leave me happy notes to get me through the day, but the only notes that you leave me now is that we're running out of milk and eggs. Oh, you don't seem to love me as much as you used to, and I can't see if I'll be home in time just to feel you. 'Cause you got work.
I challenge you to a floss off.
I don't know how to floss.
Victor,
I win!
I am cursed to this existence.
Why am I here?
Just to suffer?
Hey Victor, I once saw Khajiit come up to my house and I told him to go elsewhere. Get it? Elsewhere? Because the Khajiit are from elsewhere. It's in the southeastern part of Tamriel. You get it?
Look to your right. It's your new home. Say hello.